home studios can sometimes be a 4 or a 5, but they'll never be a 10, you know what I mean? And there's studios in LA like Sunset Sound where Van Halen recorded their first album, where Led Zeppelin 4, Hendrix recorded in there, The Doors, Rolling Stones, Beggar's Banquet, all these classic rock records were recorded there. And then there's one over here called Village Recorders where Tom Petty recorded, and Fleetwood Mac and Supertramp, and you know, there's these, I call them temples of tone. And the rooms are so beautifully tuned. And I have an engineer or two that I like to use, and you set up an amp and you get your sound, right? And then they will put a microphone on the amp, but then they'll just walk around the room listening, and sometimes they'll get up on a chair way up high, and sometimes they'll get down on the floor to find where that amp blooms and where it sounds the best. And they'll put another microphone there. And then they'll just deal with the phase alignment somehow. Sometimes they back a track up or move a track forward so that there's no out of phase. And that just sounds so good to me, and I can't get that at my house, even if I hire an engineer, you know, because I don't have a room that sounds that good. I have a home studio that uses an 11 rack, you know, that's an Avid thing that works with Pro Tools. And for demos and quick stuff, I like it. It's good, it's fast, and you can dial in a tone really quickly. But I really miss having air around it, you know, and so if I'm doing something for real, I'm almost always mic and amp. And all my records are mic'd amps, nothing modeling. I've seen bands on stage, big bands, and they're using fractal stuff, you know, in a big, maybe a huge arena, it's okay, it'll work because you can't really tell. But you know what? I can tell. I have a friend who used to do cartage for me, and he plays in this band Chicago. His name's Keith Holland, and he was playing in Chicago, the band Chicago, at the Hollywood Bowl, which holds 35,000 people. And I was on the guest list, but I was way in the back. And I could tell right away, yep, he's not playing through an amp. Because you could really hear air around it if a guy's playing through an amp.